Hamilton Radio is proud to present John Terlizzi'S Doo-Wop and Golden Memory Show, live, with your host, John Terlizzi, along with Doc G and Geri Petito. So sit back and relax as they take you on a journey back in time to the golden era of rock and roll, doo-wop and soul, along with some very fascinating guests. I'm Brad Ziffer, and keep it right here on Hamilton Radio, where the past is always present.
Terlizzi'S Doo-Wop and Golden Memory Show. Terlizzi'S Doo-Wop and Golden Memory Show. Terlizzi'S Doo-Wop and Golden Memory Show.
That's right. That's right.
Terlizzi'S Doo-Wop, that's right.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to John Terlizzi'S Doo-Wop and Golden Memory Show. I'm just here as his special co-host, Geri Petito, with Doc G, the owner of Hamilton Radio. And I'm just going to introduce our guests, and then I'm going to hand the mic over to John Terlizzi. So, everyone, we have with us a very special guest today. His name is Tom Desantis from UPTOWN EXPRESS. Tom, say hello.
Say hello, hello.
How you doing?
Anybody we can. No, really. We're doing good.
Good. So, everybody, John Terlizzi.
Hey, John.
How you doing, Tom? This is a special show for me. It's my second anniversary. I started 2 years ago. I want to thank Geri and Gene for letting me do this show. And also want to thank Terry Lawrence, who hooked me up with you, because he did an interview with you.
Oh,
and
good.
also, Tom, how did you start your doo-wop singing?
1958 in Queens, New York. Bunch of kids from the neighborhood. We started singing, and Dion and the Belmonts had just came out with "Don't Know Why," the chime. And we kept doing it until we got it right. And we called ourselves at the time, I think it was called the Velveteens.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
But we had the Velveteens for about a year, and then we changed the name to the Enchantments, I think by 1960. And the Enchantments worked for probably the mid 60s. Then everybody went in the service, and then I continued it from 69 to 79. A bunch of guys from Long Island, New York, and we toured. We worked with Don Rickles. Joe Scandori was our manager at the time, and moved to Florida in 1979 and started the UPTOWN Express, and it's been going, we're on our 40th year.
Oh, yeah. The Naples Sun-Times says you guys are the longest doo-wop group in Southeast Florida. Is that right?
Southwest Florida, yes.
Yeah. Wow, that's something. I saw your promo on YouTube with the girl singing. You got a girl in your group now?
We've had several girls in the group, yes. But this, in 40 years, there's a lot of changes, and unfortunately, some deaths and sicknesses. So it's been a long road, but we're still going, and hopefully this is going to be a very productive year. But yes, we do have a girl in the group, and we've had girls in the group pretty much through the 40 years.
Yeah, you also have a guy that was in the group, the Echoes of Baby Blue fame.
Harry Boyle is with us. Yes, Harry's a character. I love Harry.
It's funny. In the 70s, I went to a bar on Queens Boulevard, and I was talking to him, and he said, "Oh, I was in the group, the Echoes, Baby Blue. It was on Segway Records. It was a red label. I had the 45. It's unbelievable. It's almost 50 years ago. Wow."
That's great. Harry is with us, and I know Harry for probably close to 40 years. Harry
Wow.
we have Ed Galloway, he was one of the original members of what the heck was the group? Oh, I'll get to that. I gotta remember which guys were what. But everybody's very talented. All guys, and there's no guys that really know what they're doing, not know what they're doing in this group.
Also,
Wait, John, I'm
you,
interrupting you. Wait, I'm interrupting you. I have to. Okay, I don't usually do that, but I have to. So, I was born in 1961, and I say that for a reason. I always say I was born too late, because I would have been with a poodle skirt, the blue suede shoes, the leather jacket, the whole bit. I love it all, okay? And I'm an oldies doo-wop Elvis girl. So you sang on the street corners. I'm from Long Island City, New York originally. I grew up there.
I have relatives from Long Island City.
Where?
I don't remember exactly.
What were
where,
their
but,
last names?
Fazio
Wow, that's so cool. All right,
and Desimone.
very cool. So did you sing
My
on
uncle-
street corners?
Yep, my uncle owned the pool room, and I think he was a bookie too.
Wait, your uncle owned. wait. Your uncle owned what?
Pool room.
A pool room.
Well, do you know where that was?
No, unfortunately,
Okay, maybe one day you can find out.
I know it was close to the subway station. that's
Okay,
all.
very cool, because I lived off of 7th Avenue and the subway station was on 7th Avenue. I lived on 42nd Road.
Wow.
Just had to say that. But
We
anyway,
were young and, teenagers.
right,
So
I
I
know.
don't remember, but I remember we had to take the train to get to Long Island City.
Okay, so, yeah, I just, I would have been one of those silly girls, following you guys singing on the street corners.
I loved it.
Okay,
That's why
Jo-
we did it, to meet girls.
no kidding, honey. I was born
that's
too
what
late,
they used to
baby.
do. The groupies. Yeah,
All right,
groupies,
John,
yeah.
take the mic, John.
Yeah, I gotta ask you. Do you know? You were originally from Maspeth, right? Maspeth, Queens.
Actually, Middle Village,
Oh, Middle Village. Oh,
just right down the road from Aspen.
oh, because there was Randy and the Rainbows were from Maspeth. Yeah.
Aspen. Randy was a very good friend of mine.
Oh,
Wow, Dominic.
oh, Dominic Saputo. Yeah. Wow, he's my buddy too. Yeah.
There was a
Passed away
place called. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, it was. They were the dial tones before that. Yeah, I think so.
That's right. That's the high school my wife went to, Grover Cleveland High School, and
Wow.
there was a place called what was Juniper Valley Park, and they used to have the handball courts there, and we used to get together, the Enchantments and the dial tones.
Dial tones. Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
We would sing it and the handball courts there.
Yeah, Dominic passed away a couple of years ago. Yeah,
Yep.
sad. He was a good guy. Yeah. Also, you recorded on Liberty Records. That was a big label back then.
Liberty and Road Records.
Yeah.
We actually did it in the 70s. We put out a disco, and they were played in all the clubs.
Wow.
It was an old Temps song called "I Can Never Love Another,"
Oh wow.
but we made it disco.
Do you have CDs made with your new group? Not yet.
You know, there's no benefit in CDs anymore. I mean, you could sell them at the shows, but people just download them right from the internet. So, the cost of putting a CD together, it's just not worth it anymore.
No. Oh, okay. So, do you have any concerts? Are you doing now lately?
Well, the guys are all taking the summer off. We'll start getting rehearsed together probably in about 3 weeks, and we're taking bookings. Most of them right now is all corporate work, but we have an agent that's going to start trying to get us some local work, so people could come see us. We've been primarily working on country clubs and gated communities, so
Yeah,
that's what pays.
wow. Yeah, I was going to ask you, who did you work with legendary performers?
Excuse me, I'm sorry, John.
who did you work with, like legends of doo-wop? Johnny, do you ever work with Johnny Maestro?
We opened for Johnny Maestro about 3 or 4 times. We worked with the Coasters. We pretty much worked with almost every group that has ever come to Florida.
I
Yeah,
have a
Johnny was the
question.
best.
I have a
Yeah, go ahead.
question, honey. I think Terlizzi knows what I'm going to ask. Have you ever met Elvis?
No.
So, all right. I'm going to ask you a two-part question. Who was someone that you always wanted to meet, that you got to meet in the industry? And who was someone other than Elvis, of course, that you didn't get to meet?
That's a good question. You know, the Hop Tones, I always wanted to meet, the Hop Tones. I got to meet them. I always wanted to work with the Brooklyn Bridge, and luckily got to work with them, of course. Johnny Maestro has always been one of my idols, and I knew John from Brooklyn. And we used to hang out in the street corners and sing up there. I started to sing a little bit with a group called the Five Discs.
Okay.
And we used to go up to Cleveland Park and sing up at the park. John used to come down, and so it's been an interesting childhood. I feel I'm pretty lucky for a group that's never made any major records to get to work with almost all the major acts of my childhood.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions?
I kind of do, yeah. One question I wanted to ask you was any instruments that you play?
I play a bad guitar.
A bad guitar.
No, I've been playing since I was a kid, but years ago they said dump the guitar. They don't want you're going to sing with a band. And I really never follow it through. But we have 5 musicians that rather I don't touch the guitar. Yeah.
Any instruments you want to play?
No, I always just wanted to play the guitar. So I wouldn't have mind playing the keyboard though.
Okay. Go ahead, John.
What are your favorite doo-wop songs that you sing in your group?
In the Still of the Night by the Five Satins never gets old. I love singing that song.
Yeah.
It's probably one of my favorites. Tonight Could Be the Night by the who did that again?
The Velvets.
Velvets.
Yeah.
The Velvets. Yeah. Everything we do, we pretty much do the top 40 in our shows. We're starting to gravitate a little bit now to Doobie Brothers. We're doing a little Doobie Brothers now. We're doing a little soft rock. We're actually putting in some disco for this year.
Really?
So our older crowd is dying off, or they're not going out. So we're catering to our older crowd, but you have to be logical. I mean, it's going to come to a point that none of us are going to be able to do it anymore. So the younger guys in my band could continue and have the younger crowd.
Also, I was going to say, the UPTOWN EXPRESS, where can we find you on Facebook to know where you're playing?
Okay, I do have an Uptown Express Facebook page, or you could go to Tom Desantis on Facebook and friend me, and you can see everything that we're doing and where we're going on our Facebook page. But we do have an Uptown Express Facebook page.
Yeah, I saw the old group that you used to have on Facebook with the guys, the original UPTOWN EXPRESS. Yeah, they're pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, and unfortunately, they're mostly gone.
Wow. That's sad,
That is it. I'm looking at a picture right now where the original group, there's nobody left but me.
Oh,
Then we had 4 other guys that I'm looking at, and they're all gone. It's just, 40 years, unfortunately, a lot of sickness, a lot of death. But, we had fun doing it.
I got to ask you, did you ever sing in the bathrooms in high school?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, good echo chamber there.
Good
Great
echo
echo.
chamber. The subways were always great. I used to go up to Queens Boulevard. Queens Boulevard in Woodhaven, there was a subway station down there. And that was our studio.
Yeah, great sound, very resonant sound there. Like, yeah.
Until the cop came by and said, "Come on, move it on, move it on."
Yeah, you're making too much noise.
Hey, Tom, what about any venues that you played? Do you have like a specific one that you really love doing over all the years?
There was a comedy club in Port Charlotte called Desantis, and we would play that every month. Held about 250, 300 people, and we filled it up every single time we played. And the audience was just special because they just went crazy over us. Yeah, Bassani's in Port Charlotte.
So what you're saying, Tom, is probably the reason
You
why I
guys
like
are
the
what,
venue is
in
because you got
Jersey?
more
New
people
Jersey?
that liked your music back then. Right? Oh, we lost him.
All right,
Froze.
John, you talk a little bit till we get him back.
Oh, okay. Tom, can you hear me?
He's frozen
He's
right
frozen
now.
right now, so you just
John.
have to just fill in.
Tell us a little bit more about Tom.
What do you know about him?
Tom? Well, really, just from Facebook that I been singing for 40 years with the group UPTOWN EXPRESS, and you can see them on YouTube. I look at some of the old group and the new group. They sound pretty good. And it was funny. One of the guys in the group was in the group The Echoes of Baby Blue, which is it was number 6 on the top 10 back then in 61, I think.
I was born
Wow.
in 61, baby.
Me
Cool.
too.
Best
Yeah.
year,
Me
right?
too, 1961.
Yeah.
There he is. I'll
Yeah.
come back.
Okay. So this
Is
is
he
cool.
back? Is he back yet?
Yeah, he's coming back. Yep. So anyway, so he's been now with Uptown Express all this time.
Yeah, he's been over 40 years with the group. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Very cool.
yeah. If you go on YouTube, you could see the new group with the girl. A couple of videos with them. That's I followed him before. He was on my Facebook. I followed him, and Terry Lawrence hooked me up with him. And
I'm back. Did you guys hear me?
We could hear you, but we can't see you yet, Tom.
Okay. It was fine, and all of a sudden went boom. We're off. Okay. Is there something I could do to make that come on?
Gino, can you help him?
yeah,
gonna
you
try.
see on the thing where it says video, you could click that and probably go back on. I think.
The
No,
host
John.
says
John,
you
don't tell him
start
what
the
to do,
video.
John. Let Gino do it.
Okay.
I got it. There you go.
There you go. We're here. Very cool.
I don't know
Okay.
what happened.
So John, continue.
Okay, Tom. I was going to say, like I was saying, we could go to your Facebook page and find out where you're playing, and
Yes, I'll put it on my personal page and the Uptown Express
Move it
page.
to the other side, maybe.
When
okay,
a lot of the corporate work we won't put on, because you can't go to it. But
Yeah.
anything that's open to the public,
Okay.
starting this new year, will be on the Facebook page. Both
Wow.
of-
I got to ask you, as a teenager, who did you idolize back then in the '60s as a singer?
I think Dion was probably. I always wanted to be Dion.
Everybody wanted to be like Dion. Yeah,
He just
yeah,
way
Dion the
too
Belmonts.
cool.
Yeah, it's funny, a story about the Mystics were supposed to do the song "Teenager in Love," but Dion and the Belmonts had a hit already, so they gave it to Dion and the Belmonts, and that was a big hit.
story.
Yeah,
Yep.
"Teenager in Love" was a big hit for them. Yeah, and then it was Doc Thomas and Mort Schumann wrote "Teenager in Love," and then they gave the song to the Mystics, "Hushabye," which was a big hit for them. I don't know if you knew that.
Yep, I did.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, yeah.
Tom, I want to share a mystic story with you. It's bittersweet but beautiful. So Al Contrara doesn't live far from us. He's been live in studio many times with his book, The Mystics, The Mob, that big book he wrote. And prior to the one guy in his group passing away, he always promised me that I'd get the interview with all of the original Mystics. He got that interview for me, and within 2 weeks, the guy passed away, and it was so beautiful. I'll never forget that.
I got a few friends of mine that sang with the Mystics, great group. Joe Neary was with them. I know all those guys from the other coast. We used to hang around. We used to have a society, a doo-wop society up on the other coast.
Oh, okay, beautiful.
And, in Fort Lauderdale, I think it was. Frankie Iavino, I don't know if you know the name, the Five Boroughs.
Okay.
All those guys, reunion band.
Yeah.
If you see some of the early UPTOWN EXPRESS, the real early ones, one of their this guy Joel used to sing with a reunion, and he's passed away. It's just a shame, 40 years, a lot of people they're gone. Our music is starting to. We need some young people out there singing.
Well, a lot of young people are singing the oldies.
I love it.
I've interviewed very young people, indie artists, as young as 8 years old. I'm not kidding you.
Wow.
And I ask every single one of them what they think of the oldies, doo-wop, Elvis, and in their own words, they all say if it wasn't for that music, they wouldn't be singing.
It's beautiful. I think if it wasn't for that music, I'd be in jail.
Listen, me too, honey. Okay? You have no idea.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
I got to ask you, Tom, do you know Phyllis Allen?
Of course. Phyllis is a good friend of mine.
Oh, yeah, great singer. I'm friends with her on Facebook, and we were supposed to do an interview, but we had trouble with the Zoom, and she couldn't get on. But I got her a couple of interviews, yeah.
I sang with her a couple of times when she needed a fill-in guy. I went on the other coast, and then we did a big rock and roll show in Fort Myers, Florida, called, it was at the Arcade Theater, and I sang with her group, and we sang with a couple of groups that night, but we had a big rock and roll show. That was back in, I want to say about 88, maybe 89.
Yeah, she has a great voice. Wow.
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
Yeah, I like the way she sings Be My Little Baby by the Ronettes. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Great
think she
singer.
moved to Philly, didn't she? Something like
Yeah,
that.
she moved to Philly. Yeah, she was going to come back to Florida, but I don't know what happened. Didn't work out for her. Yeah.
It's a shame. She's a good kid.
Yeah, good kid. Yeah. But I don't know if she sings or whether she was looking for a group, so I don't know. It's tough to get a doo-wop group together,
It's hard because there's a lot of people that want to sing it, but to do harmony, it's difficult. And when you want to do 4-part, 5-part harmony, you need people that are, acquainted with the music. They really need to know it. But there's nothing like the guys that had sang on the street corner. It's got to come from the heart. And hopefully these kids, they get a taste of that. It's so much fun. There's nothing prettier than the human voice.
Yes, it's like an instrument. Yeah. That's what well, back then they had no instruments, and all the doo-wop, that was their music. They used the singing as instruments. Wow.
Tom,
I love the harmony. Yeah.
Tom, take us back for a little bit. Give us an idea how you would formulate the vocal layers in the harmonies when you're on the street corner, because you don't know the other person's voice. They could be high, low, or is it just one of them accents where everybody just comes together and it sounds so damn good?
The first group, when we first started in 1958, was an accident.
See?
We were watching the Three Stooges, okay? And you know where they go, hello, hello, hello. I did that. And the next guy, this guy, Jack Carwell, he did the next, and so on. And we kind of like, we looked at each other and go, holy moly, this is fun. And then Dion came out with the song. Everybody just had there was no formula. It just happened.
It just happened, yeah.
It's incredible. Yeah, it's incredible.
It was almost
Now,
like it was meant to.
They stand on their toes.
It's almost like it was meant to be, because
Exactly.
doo-wop. I tell people all the time, musicians anyway. Doo-wop was meant to be instruments that the vocal cords did because people didn't have the instruments invented yet.
Exactly.
So that's pretty much it. But that's why doo-wop was so big, because there was really nothing else around. There was not a lot of electrical stuff and, Moog synthesizers, keyboards. None of that was around. Maybe just piano and guitar and drums. So
And it's accidents that you find. I remember, like, when we moved to Long Island and we started the Enchantments back up, we were looking for a bass singer. But a guy that came in, he actually came in to interview as a first tenor. He winds up being the bass for the group for 10 years. So it's by accident things happen in a group. But
Wow.
yeah, Frankie Amico with our second set of Enchantments
nice.
was our bass singer.
Amazing.
And he came in as a first tenor.
Okay, John, you're up.
Yeah, you really have to be, like Doc says, you have to be on key with the song, or else you can't sing it.
No, and we didn't have a pitch bike back then. It was like, it just came from the soul. And that's what made the group. And there were so many of them. There's so many groups on the street corners. And, later on, you did the school dances, the fraternities. We used to do a fraternity dance every Friday night after a basketball game up in St. Margaret's in Queens. And it was so much fun. I wouldn't pick a better time in the world to grow up in the 50s and 60s.
I'm so jealous. You have no idea. And I don't even know where this came from. My dad was from Italy, so they didn't listen to oldies in the house. My dad listened to Italian music. Every time we got in the car, 98.1, right, I would listen to Don K. Reed, the Geeter. I got to interview all them. It was amazing, Cousin Brucey and I'd be like, Mommy, Daddy, not oldies, put on oldies. Elvis.
Yeah, my dad came from Italy, and the same thing, but they listened to Frank Sinatra,
Yeah,
Jerry
sure.
Vale, blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
I didn't like Frank Sinatra as a
What's in
kid,
his
but I love
rock
him
and
now.
roll? Yeah.
Yeah, New York had the best radio stations.
That's right.
Tom would know.
Yeah.
WCBS, WMCA, Winds 1010 before they went to the
So
news.
cool.
Okay.
Larry Decay, yeah.
Yeah.
The good guys on
Norman
That's
Knight
weird.
was
Norman
we-
Knight, yeah.
we used to do the Norman Knight show with the group about every 3 weeks or so. Norman Knight was a really close friend of ours. And we used to go down to Catch a Rising Star, and they always got in, and we'd sing a couple of songs, bring Norman Knight with us. It was great. It was great growing up in the 50s, 60s. But you know what? It continued. When I came home from the service, it continued right through to 1979, when the guys said, okay, enough is enough of this. And it was never enough for me. I never stopped doing this.
Well, thank you for your service, first and foremost.
Thank you.
Yes, we're all vets,
Appreciate
yeah. Yeah, you guys didn't make millions like they make now. It's
No.
unbelievable what they make now. You got a hit record, forget it.
I know. If we relied on the money that we made, I'd be living under a bridge.
Well,
Yeah.
Al Contrario was the first one with that book when he came that brought all that to light for me. Listen, we all thought we're watching everybody sing and act back in the day, and oh my God, they're millionaires, the singers are so popular. We had no idea what really went on. Crazy.
Nope.
Or that the record companies were stealing the
Right.
money, and the
That's what I
executives were
mean, you
stealing the
know?
money, and
Right.
the musicians, the ones that are going around touring, made absolutely nothing
Nothing.
going anywhere.
No, I tell you what, every time we thought we were getting money, the promoter would go, well, you know, I laid out the money for
Right.
your suits that
Right.
you owe me for dry cleaning.
Right.
It was incredible.
Terrible.
Yeah,
No.
that's what they used to do, the record company. They charge you for the suits, the trips that you had to do and everything. You really didn't make any money, you know?
By the time you
Lo-
got to your venue, you owed them money.
Yeah, it's singing for nothing. Yeah.
I got to tell you a funny story. One of the promoters, big promoter out of Long Island, he books us upstate New York. We used to call the Italian Alps, and Dion and the Belmonts were supposed to be there that weekend. Dion had a strep throat, so Norby Walters, I don't know, he was a popular promoter at the time, calls the group up. Well, it calls our manager, and then we're going to this club up in or country club up in upstate New York, but they didn't tell us that we needed a band. We didn't bring the band. We went up there the whole weekend. We sang a cappella. 2 shows a night, a cappella, and it was an Italian place. I can't remember the name of it. The one guy goes, "You guys are really good, but where's your band?"
That's great. That's great.
Hey, Tom, did they feed you?
Absolutely. You know,
Yeah.
even in my contracts now, they have to feed us.
Yeah, sure.
Food's very important. You don't want to sing on an empty stomach.
No. Yeah, it's different now. Like not like the old days. At least they take care of you now. Everything's on legal now. You know what I mean?
That's right. Everything's contract.
Yeah, you need it today. Yeah.
Absolutely. Because if you don't, forget about it. As
Forget about it, baby. So I have a
Forget
question for you. You may or may not be able to answer this. Some answer it instantly and some cannot. Okay? Do you have that one song, regardless of who the singer or band was, that resonates with you from when you were young, that's like your all-time favorite song?
I can't put my finger on just one song.
Okay.
I really can't.
Okay, do you have a few?
I do. I think the Cadillacs, a Gloria.
Oh,
I mean, every time I do that song, I still get chills.
see?
And we like to do it a cappella. That's the best way to do that
That's
song.
beautiful.
Yeah. God, there's just so many of them. You know, Larry Chance and the Earls all had their stuff. Like
Right.
every one of their songs is probably my favorite.
Yeah,
You know, from their first album.
yeah. Larry Chance was like family to me, and beautiful. Rest in peace, Angel. And I know you're up there singing with Elvis, baby. I know it.
Hey man, what a sweetheart of a guy.
Yes.
What a sweetheart.
Oh,
You know
Yeah,
what's funny
Gene
is
interviewed it.
You know what's funny, real quick? Every time she does a show, somebody mentions Larry Chance,
and I say that.
and he's always over here watching us
Yes.
somehow, some way.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I love that. I love that. Thank you.
Yeah, you're right.
He
Yeah,
was such a sweetheart of a guy.
Yeah, Gene interviewed him one time, right, Gene?
I interviewed him with a guy, John Theolon, who was
Yeah.
working with the
Yeah.
station in the studio for a while. But
I've interviewed him,
he
I
was-
think, on all my networks.
Yeah, and he was amazing because he even went into the Howard Stern or
Yeah.
before the Howard Stern with the other guy,
That
Don
was-
Imus.
That was hysterical.
He was
Oh, yeah.
amazing
Yeah.
with that. And
Yeah.
then he, of course, the music, it was an extra thing. And
Yeah.
it just, what a
Yeah.
versatile character type of guy, but a great musician as well.
Oh.
I mean, how do you put that in different categories? But that's what he was, Tom. He was so many different, layers.
And he jokes with I mean, he was just a panic to be around.
When very first time, many years ago, when I met him, we had it all set up. He was doing a show local at the Strand, and we couldn't wait. It was my birthday night. We couldn't wait to meet that night. And he's grabbing my cheeks, and he was hysterical. So
Yeah,
sweet.
he's a kidder.
So, all right. So, John, do you have another question?
Yes. I was going to say, what other groups did you like besides the Hop Tones?
The Hot Tones, the Dells. Jesus, there wasn't really a lot of bad groups. Just about all of them. I really, I can't pinpoint just one group because they all had influence on me. Okay. That sound, that, well, any one of those harmony groups that had their deep basses, and I loved all those groups.
Tom, have you ever written any songs?
Yeah, some of them are really bad, but I've written a few.
Did you ever record any?
Another story I could tell you.
Okay.
I wrote the song, and we were at Bell Records I think it was in Manhattan, yeah, Bell Sound Studios. And we were making a few demos, and we tried this song. And unfortunately, the lead singer at the time couldn't hit the notes. And it wound up on a Flamingos album 10 years later. I'm not even going to say the song, but it wound up on the Flamingos album exactly the way we did it.
Wait, I have a question. Why can't you say the song? Nobody's...
No, because I just don't want to.
All right. So a lot of that went on.
Stealing songs from
And I
everybody
can
else
say
is crazy.
this.
It's crazy.
I can say this. Phil Spector. There's a lot of stories, kid. A lot of stories. Okay.
I actually had the paper that it was written on. I wrote it out, and we were living out in Long Island, and my friend John Menino, who was in the group, and my wife probably put some words in there, and we went to the studio, and our lead singer could not hit the notes on the song, and we kind of just left it, but we did the whole song.
You hear this a lot.
I picked this record up at one of the record stores at the time, and I said, what? Could that be even possible? And it says somebody Randazzo wrote the song, which was, Randazzo was their manager at the time, Little Anthony and the Imperials. They did a beautiful job on the song, by the way.
Okay.
But
I think that was Teddy Randazzo.
Teddy Randazzo, right.
I'm on the outside looking in. Punch hands for them, yeah.
I bet you how many he wrote.
Uh-oh. We'll ask you off air. But all right, so listen, we have a few minutes left. I'm going to give John the opportunity to ask you one last question, and then
Okay.
I'll give you the mic. John, you have another question?
Yeah. I was going to say, if we want to get in touch with you, you could go on your Facebook page and on your. Do you have something on? If you go to Google your name or the group, you'll find your page there.
I just took my phone number off of the, because I was getting these weird phone calls, and I think it came from Facebook. But my email address is doop, DOOWOP, 05 at Hotmail. It's also on my Facebook page. And people that want to get in touch with me, they usually do that. Or they could, PM me on Facebook, like you did.
Okay.
So,
And
Tom, I'm
put
going to
your-
give you the mic back, and I'm going to give you a few minutes. I don't want you to say, oh, I should have said this, or I wanted to tell them this. The mic is yours. Tell us anything you'd like to talk about.
No, we just kind of covered everything. I
Okay.
think that was important.
Okay, good. All right, Doc G, you have any last words?
No, other than Tom, it's been a pleasure to talk
Yeah.
to you. And I just say one comment real quick. One of my friends that was with the Wrecking Crew, it didn't change in the '60s. They had them do all kinds of songs. Everybody knows the music, but the problem was they never told them where the song was going to be put. They never told them what album or artist it was going to be on. And that was the other issue. They couldn't promote themselves. So we're just session musicians go in, lay down a track, and leave. And they got paid for laying down the track, but them tracks are the echoes of our minds. I mean, they're all the songs that we grew up with.
Right.
And that's kind of what happened to the doo-wops.
Right.
And I feel so bad that we weren't around to change anything, but
Right.
at the same time, it had to happen for it to evolve.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah, it's an unfortunate situation, but yeah, and they poured their heart and soul, especially the Wrecking Crew. I think they're on every record. Beach Boys, anybody that's anybody. The Wrecking Crew had something to do with it.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You want to get ready so you can play the theme
Yep, sure.
song?
Yep.
So, guys, I want to just thank everybody for listening, and please share this show. And John Terlizzi, as usual, great show, great guest. You always bring it, kid. Thank you so much, Tom, for honoring us here on John Terlizzi's Doo-Wop and Golden Oldies Memory Show, Hamilton Radio. You're amazing. Never stop until God says enough, okay?
You got it.
Okay. John, last words?
Oh, thank you, Tom, for giving me this interview. It's you have a great history of doo-wop, and I love hearing your stories. Yes.
All right.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Here
Oh,
we
you're
go.
welcome, Tom.
Take us out.
Anything that could promote our music, I'm with you.
There you go.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we do.
Hamilton Radio is proud to present John Terlizzi's Doo-Wop and Golden Memory Show, live, with your host, John Terlizzi, along with Doc G and Geri Petito. So sit back and relax as they take you on a journey back in time to the golden era of rock and roll, doo-wop and soul, along with some very fascinating guests. I'm Brad Ziffer, and keep it right here on Hamilton Radio, where the past is always present.
Terlizzi'S Doo-Wop and Golden Memory Show. Terlizzi'S Doo-Wop and Golden Memory Show. Terlizzi'S Doo-Wop and Golden Memory Show.
That's right. That's right.
Terlizzi'S Doo-Wop, that's right.